World Financial Group offers entrepreneurs from all backgrounds the opportunity to start their own business on a level playing field. Dr. Yana Woodhouse, receiving the WCM Wall Street Pioneer Award by the United Black Wall Street of America, Inc., is one of those entrepreneurs.
I see WFG and TFA as a place where African Americans with an entrepreneurial mindset can flourish. And the bonus, we help families and serve the communities across the country.
To learn more about us, go to worldfinancialgroup.com.
We are the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward-thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.
This is Kia Rogers, and you're listening to Urbanology with my dad, Tony Rogers, on WHCR 90.3 FM New York.
Hey, what's happening? What's up? Urbanology.
Hello, Tony Rogers here. I'm broadcasting live from Africa, so we are making some adjustments. But I have on one side my good friend who is the CEO of Ravina Tours, Mr. Mamadou Linjan, and I have a translator here, even though Mamadou speaks very well, but he feels more comfortable with our translator here, Mr. Umar.
Hello.
And I also have two colleagues or two friends, Stephanie Kane, who has a school in Senegal, and I have a friend of mine who's my martial arts brother for many years, who is a former colleague in CUNY and a very first good friend who's now in Stephanie's place, Gene Adams from New York. So that's our show, and I am happy to have everyone here and to be broadcasting from Senegal. And what I will do is, one, to allow for you to speak, hear from my host and partner, because Ravina Tours and the Harlem Tourism Board, as well as Art War Travel, will work together in creating the Dakar Harlem Partnership. So, Mr. Young, say hello.
Hello.
And tell us the name of your company. What's the name, the meaning of the name of Ravina Tours?
Okay. Bon, excuse me, I have to speak French. But bon, Revinatur, c'est Revina Tour, Dream in Africa.
which we understood that, right? Dream in Africa.
Yes. And comme on est dans un pays francophone, hein, c'est pour cela qu'on a changé le dream en rêve. C'est pour cela que c'est Revina. OK?
Okay, so as you know it, we are living in a French-speaking country, which is Senegal. Reason why we have changed the name, uh, Dream in Rev, Rev in Africa, which means Dream in Africa.
Thank you. Now, I also have at another location, Stephanie King. Stephanie, how are you? I don't hear you. Can you hear me?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Ah,
And
now I hear you. How are you doing?
I'm
This is
doing
the
I'm
first
doing
time
well here in Dakar.
I've talked with you and sent emails to you, but this is the first time. But I'll see you tomorrow. But tell the
Yeah.
listeners about your school and what you do. Well, you can't. We don't have that much time to tell all of the things you do in Senegal. But tell us
Yeah.
about your school.
Well, I think one interesting fact that people may want to hear is that I came to Senegal in 1985 by boat, by freight boat from Belgium, actually. And in 1993, I founded a preschool. I had no intentions in the school growing to where it has grown today. But today it is a full blown preschool, Montessori preschool, primary and high school with 1,200
Wow.
students from over 35 different countries, many of them from various parts of Africa and from immigrant communities in the United States and in Europe. And we do both an American high school program as well as the Senegalese baccalaureate, which is the equivalent to the high school program, high school diploma.
Wow. And you, where is your origin?
I am originally from Baltimore. Can't you tell?
Baltimore. So
Yes,
this in 1985. Was you said 1985?
I
Did
did.
you
I
say?
said 1985.
I wanted to be clear because so in that
You can
time
do the
you were
math.
able to develop a school for from preschool all the way up to high school.
The school was started in 1993. I had been on the
Hmm.
continent for several years. I got here in 1985.
Right. But
But the
I'm
school
just saying the
started in
time span.
1993. Yes, and I was able to
But
start. We
that's
started with
still
nine.
amazing.
Yes, we started with nine preschoolers, but today we're 1,200 students and a staff of
1,200
200.
students. And I
Yes.
believe you had a graduation or you're having a
Our
graduation.
graduation is next week on July 23rd. In fact, Gene Adams comes every year with a delegation from Bronx Community College. We are
Uh-huh.
partnered with Bronx Community College, and he's here for that to be at the graduation and to do in service training and collaborative projects that we've been doing for years.
And Gene, uh, I did not realize you had this connection. You know,
Ah,
your president was on my show. I introduced on my radio show
Okay.
weeks ago. I have to send you um, the tape of that. She was a very
Mhm.
impressive woman, a
Yeah.
scientist, and did a lot for the school. We're talking here about bringing more African Americans and Caribbean Americans to Senegal. And my God, Stephanie, if we could have half of the success that you've had coming here, that would be a wonderful way of awakening the sleeping giant. That is the marketing plan that I'm working out with Mr. Jing and to create a way to have more people like you come to discover Senegal. Now, you have introduced me to so many people. Yesterday in this office, we met with the Ravina tour groups with Katrina, who will be one of the team that we build around putting this information together. As you probably remember, when we had a fam trip, I sent the itinerary to Maria, Katina, and I think to you, and you said, no, 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 no. This is not what you need to do. This is for Europeans. You need to do something for African and Caribbean Americans. And that's how I met Sonny. That's how I met many of the people, which is why I was talking to the CEO, my friend. I'll be 75, so I'm able to call him my son because I have a son his age. I'm a Juneteenth baby. You didn't know that, did you, Gene?
No, baby.
Yeah,
I thought you were a lot younger than that.
I'll be 75 in June. Matter of fact, Sam McGee, who also trained with me many, many years ago, he's my little brother because I'm 6 months older than him.
Hmm.
But nevertheless, the idea is he is going to help us. And one of the things that I'm looking to do is to begin to connect Sonny, Katrina, yourself, with the people who are going to be here, like Ravina Tours, ASPT, who you already know more than I'm sure, and Air Senegal, to really put together a special type of promotional package for um, the Harlem Dakar Sister City Partnership using Soul City, the Harlem Community News, the radio, Harlem Week, all of the things, City College. Matter of fact, the Consul General for Senegal, El Hajj Endow, is a graduate of City College. So a lot of the things that we are doing tend to work together. Gene, tell me a little bit about your experience with Stephanie and how you became connected.
Okay. We've been developing and working this partnership for more than 20 years.
Wow,
We
I
came
didn't
here
know
in
that. So all of the
19.
time we were training, you were coming to Africa and you didn't tell me.
I've been coming to Africa, working on projects and contributing and learning and being a part of the larger success of the of SABS. And what I've learned is that African Americans specifically, as part of their experience in coming here, we need to give them something specific to do, a specific area where they can make a contribution and get into the environment, not simply as observers, but like you're doing right now, actually engaging and being a part of the larger community. I think for me, that has worked out very well. Like I said, I've brought 3 CUNY presidents here. I've brought vice presidents. I've brought students from the City University of New York, as well as other institutions. And we've had a lot of great programs.
Do you know Marie Nazan from City
Of course.
College?
Yeah, I've known Marie for quite
So
some years.
Marie Nazan is the contact because she was my colleague.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that you guys knew each other. I've known you for 20 years.
More than that. I met
More
you
than
in
that,
the
probably.
80s. I
Yeah.
photographed your first
But
wedding.
so that's amazing how life is, and I never knew about your African experiences, but now we know how we're more connected. Stephanie, what else? I gotta say this in a way because I've read and heard so much about you. I know it's not enough time to really fully let people know. But besides the school, what are some of the other things that you have started or that you do in Senegal? I know that's a crazy question, but
It is. Well, I've been a mother and a wife and a member of a huge family.
Mm,
And so all of that entails. I probably very much interested in yoga and mindfulness and
mm,
spirituality. So I
hmm.
have circle of
So
friends.
as G knows.
Yeah. Um, I guess those pretty much are my endeavors, but I'm interested in a lot of things. Absolutely enjoying this period in Senegal, which is
Mhm.
the Biennale. We have over
Ah,
300 art exhibitions,
and do you know I
and
haven't been to one yet.
I am definitely a patron of the arts. I come from a dance background,
Mhm,
and I'm dipping and dabbing in painting and you know some of the visual arts now. So I keep busy. Believe me, the school is definitely. I'm very passionate about what I do, and it's more about creating a culture outside
mhm,
of the classroom,
mhm.
which is I could say very time consuming. My kids tease me to say it's their little sister or their little brother. So I've got a lot on my plate,
Right.
and but
And
I enjoy every minute of it, and I enjoy Senegal.
back with Gene, we're also going to start to work with Usman in the Echo Village with Marie to begin to help with the wells and the like.
Right.
But
Yeah.
my friend here, who I call my son, who is a very prominent person in Senegal, has really opened doors to try to make this happen. I mean, I had meetings with Air Senegal, who came to Harlem. I've had meetings with ASPT. But when I came here to really do business, the only person who stepped up was Mamadou. And tell us why you think it's important to develop the relationship with African American, and Caribbean Americans to come here.
Oui, c'est très important d'avoir ça. Bon, je m'excuse un peu par rapport
Don't
à.
worry about it. Don't worry about it. We have a
Don't worry about it.
Speak in French. We'll translate it.
Excuse-moi. Hein. Bon, c'est parce que nous voulons cette relation, parce que nous, en tant que Sénégalais, Africains, hein,
Mm-hmm.
stop there. Hein, donc, c'est important de travailler avec des Américains, donc noirs et même blancs, et que par exemple les Noirs puissent venir au Sénégal voir les ressources, se ressourcer parce qu'ils viennent d'ici. Hein? Ils
Now
viennent d'ici.
translate that
Okay, you
for
can
us.
translate.
Okay,
Excuse me.
so thank you very much. And I think that it is really important for me as a Senegalese man, but also as an African man, to work with the African American that live in United States of America to come here in Africa. It is a way, to break the bridge between Africa and between Senegal and people that live in USA to discover where they come from, their roots. Reason why it is really important for me.
And I know that a lot of people who love art may not be aware of this 2 year this biannual event. Stephanie, can you talk a little bit about it and what is happening now?
Yes. So it happens every 2 years, and it has grown exponentially. This year, we've never had so many art exhibits at the same time. But Dakar has been a center for the arts since the time of its first president, Leopold Senghor, who was a poet, and I think initiated one of the first World African art festivals. But for a month, every 2 years, the government sponsors artists, local artists, as well as international artists to exhibit to give workshops around not only the business of the art, but even the how to of the art. And people began opening up their homes and their galleries for showings as well. So there's a catalog this year that is by dates, and every day there are at least 15 to 20 art exhibits going on. And also, we have one by neighborhoods because, as I said, people open up their homes. I don't know where else in the world this could take place. It's kind of magical in Dakar during the Biennale because you can actually there's a sign um, there's a sign on people's doors that
Yeah,
say
we've seen the off.
it's yellow and black, and that means that you can come in and see their art exhibit. And some of them
That
are
is,
their personal art exhibits, some of them are collectors, and it's really exciting. And it's not only just now the visual arts, but it's also film. It can be dance, and they're what they call vernissages. So the openings are quite elaborate. Our school is actually going to be exhibiting on June the 20th, and the theme this year is out of the fire. And so
yes,
our theme is out of the fire into the future. And we're focusing on the arts and agriculture and technology. It's going to be quite exciting. And it's going to
and
be theatrical as well as fashion design. And so all of those are the different art art modes that are featured during the Biennale.
The
and
Madame knows very well Senegal.
well, since 1985, you
Knows
know,
very well Senegal.
and
She is very well set.
how did you come by creating a school in Senegal?
Yeah. Well, I had been teaching English at the American Cultural Center, and I had been teaching English at the university. And I was very curious about second language learning acquisition. So I started doing my own research and realized that children are in their absorbent years for learning languages below the age of 6. It coincided when my 4-year-old needed to go to a preschool. And so I said, why not try it with younger children? It was an experiment, and it grew into what it is today because we put a lot of emphasis on the performing arts, and the parents loved coming in and seeing their children sing and do plays and sketches in the other language. So that's how I became interested, and then, like I said, it evolved into a passion.
Obviously, to have now, how many students do you have in the school again?
Over 1,200. And we're
1,200.
on
That's
three
amazing.
campuses this
And
year.
they're
And
from
a lot
different
of
parts
that
of
is
Africa.
due to also the collaboration with Gene Adams. He's definitely helped to keep me grounded and making sure that we keep that connection and we take advantage of the diaspora and not only African Americans in the diaspora, but also Africans immigrants. Um, and I think Bronx Community College probably has one of the largest population of those African immigrants. So I think his help and support throughout the years has really helped for us to be on point, and and people like what they see, and they like the products. We have graduated at over 19 years. We've been graduating students going into universities all over the world, really. Many of them in the United States, of course, and Canada and China
You know,
and all over.
Gene, one of the things that we might discuss, since now that I know your president after we had an hour interview, and she's now a member of the chamber, as you might know, to start having conversations on how City College can be supportive, because we have the only engineering school in the CUNY system, and there may be some things that we might be able to work on jointly.
Yeah, well,
taking your lead.
Bronx Community College, it does have the largest continental African population of any of the CUNYs and any of the private schools. So a lot of the young people are coming there with the intent of going into computer science, nursing, engineering, other sciences, but they're also now moving into filmmaking, business, even healthcare and social work. So they've really expanded themselves, and the Bronx now has the largest African community in the United States. Things that were happening
Didn't
in
know that.
Harlem and
Even
the
though Harlem has the largest Senegalese community, I think.
Senegalese, but now the Bronx has the Bronx has everybody.
Okay.
So we've the president of BCC is a West African, Thomas
I didn't
Sekenege.
know that.
Right. So he's given me tremendous leeway in terms of advancing the interests of the college while at the same time advancing the interests and the needs of the growing African community. So we're very well situated as a major supporter for the immigration transitions that are taking place. But here in Senegal, we've been involved with SABS in everything from working with around hip hop to bringing and working with drone technology and supporting their robotics groups, supporting historical ventures around Goree Island and what we call the Big Goree Project. Um, just really expanding and bringing the Bronx into SABS and with our resources, while at the same time learning a tremendous amount about Africa and the advances that are taking place in industry and farming and other areas here in Senegal. So I think in bringing folks here, we need to touch base with all these developments that are taking place, business ventures. Tech. I met a young man on a plane this last night who works in the oil industry here in Senegal. They've gotten oil wells off the coast, and he's a marine engineer working in oil drilling. So we have a lot that we can offer, but they also have a tremendous amount that they can offer. So we need to have those kind of conversations.
And one of the things, I made a mistake. I interviewed the new president of Medgar Evers, not BMCC.
Oh yeah,
that was that's sometimes
I get to talk to second whatever you want.
But the bottom line is that you're absolutely right. When I was here last, I met with Musa Torre, who's with Orange, and he does communication. But anytime, sir, you can, if you have comments, please make sure that you do that. And same with you, Stephanie. I'm just trying to allow for people, one, to understand that coming home does not have to be a mystery or a horror or anything like that that sometimes the colonizer makes us feel. And I have a spiritual focus. So everybody that's here now was supposed to be here. I believe that the ancestors work in that way. So some might think it's coincidental that Gene Adams is talking with me now, because I've known Gene Adams and I never knew this about him. And just so happened now I'm working with Senegal. Now I know, that's the case. And do you have Redrick with you? I understand. Or who else is with you or coming with you, Gene, from New York?
Roderick Giles, the filmmaker, will be coming. We've had Jeff Noble here, and Jeff has done a workshop.
Jeff Noble was here
twice. Workshops in training healing and
PNL.
Neuro-linguistic programming. We've had Larry Brown, who's the archer. He trained the national archery team.
You have an echo a little bit.
Yeah.
but
And we also
Gene,
had Harlem Fashion Week.
Harlem Fashion Week.
Yeah, with Tandra and her daughter.
And Tandra, and you never mentioned this to me, brother. What did you not want Harlem to be involved with this?
No, I'm ready. Believe me. Believe me.
I mean,
This is home for me.
I have Harlem Week. I know a number of people. You don't know that, right?
Yeah, I know you. I told you got a big posse. But definitely, I mean, anytime you're ready, we can sit down, and I'm more than willing to share my experiences and the things that I've learned. I think are very important, as well as the things that we've been able to contribute. We've learned as much as we've been able to contribute, and I think that's a key element.
Well, that's
of
what I'm learning now. And I'm so glad that Mr. Jing can see this, because it's proof of what we can do, and the relationships and the contacts and the things that are possible. What the plan that we are dealing with is that Ravina Tours will be the major tour operator that we work with, using Air Senegal since Air Senegal started flying direct to Dakar from JFK, their interest in creating a Harlem Dakar partnership became greater. That's how our conversation started to improve. So with the things that are happening, this could be a very meaningful way of awakening the sleeping giant, so to speak, or to begin to allow for more people.
So today at Stephanie's school, they had a science fair. And at the science fair, the students were presenting natural products that are Senegalese in origin, like the baobab tree for boy, other things that in products that grow here that when I go home now, I find in all the grocery stores. They're moringa, boy, all those things are being sold at home. So somebody's coming here in similar places and
taking the ideas,
packaging it, and doing whatever's necessary to get those products into the American market. It's not enough of us who are engaged in that. So,
well, I guess my next question is not enough of us who are coming here and taking this culture and monetizing it, which is why we have to begin to make that change, because that's happening all over Africa.
Right.
One of the things that I also believe, as far as Senegal, that's extremely unique that I experienced. I was here in March on a fan trip, and we went to different places. And what's amazing is how the Islamic religion and the Christian religion have developed a collaboration that I've never seen any place else at all, even, no place. I think that we talk about Teranga, or we talk about certain things about Senegal, that's something that's not really promoted, and I'm not sure why, but that's amazing. I was told that there are cemeteries that both people who are religious in both Islam or in Christianity are buried in the same place, and there are marriages that take place.
Inshallah.
I don't know whether and
Inshallah.
yeah, you're the expert on that.
Yeah, it is in the sign of Senegal.
And I that's something that shows that there's somebody else creating the conflict, because we don't necessarily have to have that conflict, because you prove that that's not the case. That politics of religion is something that is a man-made situation. It's not a spiritual situation, and that's something that I believe I'll write about more, because it's amazing. I mean, that's the only thing that I can say. With all of the stuff that we hear, and all of this, and the battles, I mean, all the way from the Crusades and all of that, to be able to understand that there can be a relationship is something that proves a point. It proves an important point of spirituality rather than organized religion. So,
Just want to add something, if you allow
sure.
me. Yeah, as you know, he said it is in Joal, in the sand of Senegal. So those people are called the Seri ethnic group, and we have to underline the very important thing that it is only when you go in the Seri ethnic group where you can see members that belong to the same father, the same mother, and have and belong, different religion. You can see the brother can be a Muslim, and his sister can be a Christian among the Syrian ethnic group, and they get along very well. Reason why, when you go in Joal, in the Syrian ethnic group, you can see a symmetry where Christian and Muslim are buried together because they belong to the same family. So it means that Christian and Muslim uh, are one person, one people.
Well, I think, and Stephanie, you, I'm sure even better than I, is spirituality. There's something that there's organized religion and there's spirituality. And spirituality means that it's I try to describe it as like gravity. If you have a Muslim or a Christian or a black, white, whoever on the roof, when they jump, there's no there's no there's no separation. There's no and that's the energy that I believe the whole spiritual. It doesn't matter who you are. It's what's in your heart, what's in your actions that allow for you to come about. But going back to you, Gene, this has been a major secret that you've kept. I had no
Well,
idea. And
honestly,
you've seen all of my emails and my even when I was sending all of the stuff to you about
yeah,
Africa.
I wrote you a couple of times and
Yeah.
on Messenger. But realistically, I'm a simple person when it comes down to I'm an outcome driven person. So, a lot of our folks do a lot of talking, which is good, but I do a lot of walking. I'd rather just go get it done, work with the people, go directly to the source, get the outcomes that I can feel really good about. And occasionally I've run into or seen some of the students I've worked with here in Senegal, in Washington, D.C. or in New York. And that's a phenomenal thing. Or I've brought students here and the experience here to completely change the trajectory of their lives. Um, that's to me, that's in the revolution. That's what revolution is change. And what you're trying to do now, what you guys are building, I think complements that. Let's just go get it done, because folks will sit and talk forever.
Well, again, uh, I'm the co-founder of Harlem Week, which has
I
been
know.
48 years. So I have 48 years at least, and served about five presidents at City College. So I understand what you're saying. Some people talk about things, and some people do things. But
Yeah.
my last hurrah, I would say, because as I said, in June I'll be 75. So I've given myself 5 more years
Great.
before I may come to Senegal to actually, you know, just relax on the beach. But what my wish is, and what my ancestors are helping me by doing this, is to support you, the things that you're doing to make sure that this man here who has allowed for me to have the opportunity, as along with the tourism board and others, to understand that there's support in this concept of awakening the sleeping giant. I wrote a piece. African Americans and Caribbean Americans in 2020 spent over $1 trillion in goods and services. If a small percentage of that had to come to Africa, imagine what that could do. And that's not talking about the diaspora. So when you talk about the diaspora, those who came to Goree Island and went to Spain, and those who came to Goree Island and went to France, and those who went to Brazil. And if you talk about the diaspora waking up, that is something that may not be in my lifetime, but that would be the full circle because God placed us all around the world. We've been strategically positioned now to return home and claim, and we have to do it. If not, it's not going to be here. So that's my motivation. That's what allows for me to do this. When people are saying, you're supposed to be going out to pasture, but when you go out to pasture, that's when you push up daisies. If you don't use it, you lose it.
Right.
So this is motivating to me to be able to talk to you, Stephanie, and to know that people like Gene, who I've known and are in the same mindset, it allows for me to understand this message. It's not coincidence. Coincidence is a message from the mind of the universe. If you are able to understand and accept it as being that. And this for me is, and I don't usually talk this much in interviews, but I'm very excited. This makes me feel very warm because it makes me feel that this message is that I'm on the right path. To be able to talk to you, to be able to talk to Gene, Soul City, to be able to talk with Mr. Jin and his team of people cannot be considered an accident. It's something that I believe is supposed to be. And I am so impressed with what you've done. Everybody said you got to meet Stephanie. She knows everybody. She's the person. If you're trying to do anything, you need to make sure that you go and receive your blessings. So I am coming tomorrow to give my thanks for you to open up. And I met another person.
Let me just say that part of those blessings are the food that gets cooked in my house. You have a Gene can tell you about that.
You probably I got to find out where you are because before I leave, I got to sample that. I have to make a visit.
Yeah, I done brought all my boys here. Jeff, Larry, they all fall in love with Alma.
Yeah, Jeff Noble is another friend. We're talking about brothers in the martial arts, and we all have trained together. So did Jeff come when he was practicing his wellness?
Yeah, he came and did 2 times and did sessions of pranic healing for organizations and groups of up to maybe 60, 70 people.
Wow.
And
at some point I have to show you what I do, maybe tomorrow.
Sure.
I studied in Korea as an ancient form of healing. And I was the first African American to become a key energy master using sound vibration. Matter of fact, Katina had a problem with her leg, and I gave her a treatment yesterday, and it helped her a lot. It's using sound vibration and touch. And you combine that with the martial arts. Actually, the martial arts, the foundation was healing, as Gene knows. But wow, this is amazing to me. I hope you understand, and I apologize for being so, but I am I'm elated to see how this is working itself out. And every time I meet somebody, I met a young lady by the name of D'Angela, because her brother-in-law Babacar came to me in New York, it says, "Hey, I want to be part of the tourism board. You're doing things in tourism." He read some of my stuff, and we were talking. She says, "Oh, I know Stephanie. I know." So every place you go, they're saying, this is it.
I've been around since 1985. Yeah, and the school is
Well, so have
pretty
I, but I haven't
centrally.
been to Senegal.
Yeah.
But that's amazing. What's the address of your school?
So we we're
Not,
on.
but you told me addresses don't really mean anything here, so
Yeah, no.
you have to know what it
How would you
is.
describe where the school is? I mean, what are the landmarks that taxis know, for example?
The gas station on the corner.
Wait a minute. What gas station on the
You're talking
corner?
about Boogie Bar, right?
No. Okay. The Boogie Bar is the gas station on the corner. Okay. So, but here in
It may
Almadies,
be mine. I hope.
near the BC's
Well,
Bank.
you
I
got
think.
you got the BC's Bank, but the high school is right
I'm
across
not
from
sure
the
what
embassy.
I can do. Maybe I should try to go out and come back in. I don't know whether or not that will work. Um, I may be back. Hopefully, can you guys hear me? Okay. That might have been my ancestors saying that I was talking too much. So Gene, what are you planning to do while you're here?
Well, every year, Stephanie mentioned, prior to the pandemic, I was bringing teams here from CUNY, and
Right.
President Second Egby has spoken at the graduation. President Carol Joseph had. Vice President Claudia Schrader, who is now the president of Kingsborough, has. President Carol Williams came and did a lot of stuff. I've spoken. What we want to demonstrate is that CUNY and Bronx Community College specifically is 100% supportive of the educational goals and objectives of not only the children at SABS, but also the teachers and the parents.
What does
And
SAP stand for?
Senegalese
Is that
American
an
Bilingual School. Senegalese
Uh-huh.
American Bilingual School. And
Okay.
a couple of years ago, we did a pilot online course through CUNY with SAPS. So we've had tremendous success in creating effective learning instructional models. And, we want to continue to be a part of the success that SABS has had. And at some point, we like to create a greater pathways between the City University of New York and organizations such as SABS, because we have the academic programs throughout the CUNY system at a much more affordable cost than what some of the young people coming out of African countries end up in very prestigious institutions, but they're killing themselves financially to do that.
And
We have
especially with City College, which
right.
is in Harlem and has a very good engineering program.
He's
And
pushing that City
and
College stuff. Check him out.
huh? Well,
He's right. He's right. They have most of our
I'm an alumni, so I have to.
our engineering and computer science African students specifically all end up at City College.
We've had some also end up at City College.
Yeah,
in
So,
engineering
so
program.
City College has been in the house for quite some time.
So, but you see, if a tree falls in the forest and it doesn't make a sound, or if a tree falls in the forest and no one is around it, doesn't make a sound.
Right.
Now that I know the City College is in the house, people will know about it because we'll be able to make sure
And like I said,
that
they can
that
come,
promotion is good. And as I said, the Council General, Ed Hodge is a City College graduate. So,
so I mean, so again, that's a natural. I mean, but again, as I said from the beginning, we have to create pathways so that African Americans and Caribbean folks coming to Senegal can come here to enjoy themselves, to do business, and to be contributors. It's almost a tripartite type of triangle. Um, we as African people can't simply afford to be tourists.
yeah.
We have to be innovators.
Mm-hmm.
We have to
And
be innovators.
investors. And
And
investors.
innovators. Right.
Matter of fact, Matt McCoy, who's the CEO of Soul City, this is the only truly black owned on demand network in the world. And as he builds Soul City, and he came with us on the fan trip, there's so many things. We have our own network. We can do on demand things. Matter of fact, we're going to be doing some things with the Jazz Festival in June 2023. But the other part of it, we could give another platform for people, Stephanie's work in Senegal. When we talk about a Harlem Dakar partnership, we have to talk about things like what's happening here in Senegal, that you're graduating these young people who are coming to America, who are from all over Africa, coming to your school. That's something that you need to be able to have a platform for, so that you can obtain the necessary funding that will continue to do these things. And I'm sure that that's why we're talking now. that's the
Okay.
whole idea for people, because we're in a number of households now. Matt has, but Soul City, is all on your phone if you look at it. So thousands of people now know Stephanie and know what you're doing, but more importantly, they know Mr. Jin, who, if you want to come here, we now have one of the top travel agencies in Senegal to help begin to put together things in conjunction with, because one of the negotiations with Mr. Jin is that we have to have people on the ground like you, Stephanie, like Katrina, like Sunny Moore, to help create the understanding of what African Americans and Caribbean Americans really need to understand and to see, similar to what you did with our fan trip. So these collaborations will allow for this effort to be, as Gene has indicated, more than just a travel, more than just coming and which is nothing wrong with that, you know, but to do more. So we're almost there. I want you to all talk.
I want to I want to talk.
Yes.
I talk something, but not in English and in French. Excuse me. Hein? Ce que je peux dire, après vous allez have to translate.
And do it slowly so he can,
translate. Hein?
Right.
Bon, je crois que vous avez quand même, vous, beaucoup de personnes comme Stéphanie et Jen connaissent bien le Sénégal. Ils connaissent bien le Sénégal. J'ai vu qu'ils ont fait beaucoup de propos. Mais nous, en tant qu'agents de voyage et de tourisme, nous sommes au Sénégal, donc aussi bien dans une place comme Mariste, Sali Portudal, Ndangan Sambou, et aussi nous sommes en Gambie, en Gambie, notre pays. Je vois que sur notre partenariat entre HBT et Revinatos Je crois que c'est une meilleure formule, hein, quand même, pour pouvoir travailler ensemble, parce que nous le recherchons depuis très longtemps, hein. Nous avons travaillé sur ça pour aller aux États-Unis et travailler avec des tour opérateurs pour faire venir des gens ici. Et je crois que ça, c'est une opportunité, hein, c'est une grande opportunité avec Tony et tout le groupe de HBT pour faire quand même voilà, de bons, je ne sais pas comment on prononce en anglais, de bonnes inscriptions, donc pour que quand même qu'on puisse travailler ensemble dans le long terme, hein, dans le long terme. Et je crois que Revina Tours est prêt quand même pour travailler avec vous dans tout le système, hein, donc aussi bien au Sénégal et dans la sous-région. Voilà. Encore une fois, c'est ça que je voulais dire. Excuse me for the French.
But we'll translate so we can hear what
You
you're
can
saying.
translate.
Because,
Excuse me.
I want people to hear this.
Okay, so
And then
guys,
they understand. But
As I understand, encore, je pouvais parler français. À l'aise, peut-être.
no, our friend Stephanie, understand very well. So Stephanie and the other guy, see, they have been here in Senegal. Jane, and also Regina Tour want to work with you, because Regina Tour is in Portugal, in the center of Senegal, in Salou, but also in the Gambia, which is another country which is inside of Senegal. So we think that this partnership between Harlem and Senegal is a very good partnership, which allowed them, to together in a long term. And we believe that together they can realize their dream.
Ce que je peux augmenter aussi, c'est nous avons la billetterie, hein, nous avons la billetterie, nous avons des véhicules, nous sommes avec des partenaires, avec des hôtels, hein, donc vraiment ça c'est important aussi, hein. Nous avons également un bateau, hein, un bateau pour faire certains trajets, pour croiser. Et encore, nous sommes en train de construire un hôtel.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also we would like to add also they have beautiful cars for the renting. They have a big boat, but also he's building a hotel. He's building a hotel, and he think that all this project together, you and him, you can realize your dream.
which is the name of Ravina.
Yes.
But we're about running out of our time. However, I am so happy to have a conversation with you, Stephanie. And we will have many more now
It's mutual.
And Jean, I guess my only thing is that you just kept me, I don't know, I was like the stepchild. We've been brothers. We've been martial artists. We fought each other. You brought Jeff down. You brought everybody. You didn't even let me know. You know that I, have this love. But all things happen when they're supposed to.
I did.
And I will hopefully see you tomorrow.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Jin. Thank
you very much.
Okay, so thank you guys for having me here, and it was truly an honor to be here with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tony.
I will improve my English after. Okay.
Yeah, you do.
You keep building the hotels. Stephanie will help give you people who can help you.
Yeah, I will. He needs to come
That's
to
what
staff.
she does. She has a school to do that. So she might give you a tutor. She will help you. Jean,
Yes.
I look to see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Look forward to seeing
Thank you so much.
Thank
Matt
you.
McCoy, thank you
And Jerejef.
for allowing for
Jerejef.
us to do this. My friend, the nephew here, this is my grandson. This is my son.
Yes.
Because I have a son his age. So this is my grandson, his nephew. He helped me translate and do some things that I need to do. But it all comes together. And that's why you see me so, vibrant, because I feel, like you're in church and you feel the spirit and you start doing what you need to do. That's what I feel now in seeing you and being able to do this. So thank you all. Matt McCoy, thank you for making things happen. Take care.
Thank you.
People in New York next week. But this has been a wonderful opportunity. And this is just the beginning. We're just starting. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
And I'll talk to everybody next week. We'll be signing off.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
This is Kia Rogers, and you're listening to Urbanology with my dad, Tony Rogers, on WHCR 90.3 FM New York.